मैम की जब इंटरव्यू लिस्ट में वो नाम रोल नंबर आता है मैम, पहली बार तो बिलीव नहीं हो रहा था कि मेरा ही रोल नंबर है। सो आई हैव क्रॉस चेक ट्वाइस थ्राइस कि हाँ मेरा ही रोल नंबर है, आई एम गिविंग द इंटरव्यू। सो पहले तो एक दिन तो वो सलकिन हुआ कि हाँ दिस इज हैपनिंग एंड दिस इज ट्रूली हैपनिंग, यू आर गेटिंग अ चांस टू सिट इन फ्रंट ऑफ दैट बुक।
Hello everyone. Welcome to iExam B. And today we have with us Mr. Saurabh Trivedi, who has cleared the RBI Grade B 2023 exam. So many congratulations, Saurabh.
थैंक यू मैम।
So let me give a brief about Saurabh. Saurabh is an engineer by education, and he has 9 years of work experience. He's worked in TCS, and as of now, he's working as deputy manager in General Insurance Company (GIC). And very interesting. Saurabh had been preparing and giving RBI exams for a lot of years. This is his sixth attempt, and it was also his final attempt. So he's been able to finally achieve his dream with consistent efforts all these years. So a very special congrats once again, Saurabh, for this long journey that you have traversed and finally reached where you wanted to reach.
थैंक यू मैम।
So, Saurabh, let's hear from you only. 2014, when you cleared your engineering and joined TCS as a campus placement, what made you start preparing for government exams and specifically banking exams back then?
Okay, in that case, actually, since I have been brought up in Lucknow in an environment like in UP, so I always clinched towards the government job. My father was also in a government job. So after joining TCS, I was looking for what to do next, and IBPS exams appealed me more. IBPS PO banking exams. It has a lot of prestige and a good salary and a good work environment. It was carrying those days. So it just I find the IBPS process quite clear, concise, everything happening as the plan. The results came, the people are joining, so everything being very nice. So I just picked it up, and I had a clinch that I can clear it. So I went ahead with that, and that's how I fall into the banking domain.
Okay. So, and you started giving those exams back then, and you were working throughout, right?
Yes,
You
yes,
never gave up the job for your preparation. Okay.
yeah. I
So
never took a
how
break.
so how did you manage doing that?
See, I'd say I just one word in which I could frame it as being consistent. I understood during my college days that it doesn't matter you take a break or not, but it does matter, and on everyday basis you try to do something. If you plan to study for 3 hours and you couldn't do it, means you are having a low energy or you are quite distracted. Try to study for 30 minutes at least. So I made my strategy was very clear with me that whatever happens on everyday basis, I'll study something. But though after being so much I have made up my mind, but still there were some days that I couldn't prepare anything. But eventually whatever days I have prepared, that helped me a lot, and I was able to clear the exams.
Okay. So which all exams did you give, Saurav, in the past, and which all did you clear before RBI?
I have given a lot of exams. I don't study. I still can't. If I start writing, the entire page will fill. Like it's for Bank of Baroda exam. Then there was a Maharashtra Bank. Then there was IBPS Clerk, IBPS PO, SBI Clerk, SBI PO. I gave RBI also, RBI Assistant, and RBI Grade B. Everything, whatever was there in that, whatever I was studying, whatever
And
exams are
GIC
calling.
also, I think, because there you landed up in
Yeah,
GIC.
yeah, yeah. And luckily, when I started clearing, when my good days came, when I started clearing all the exams, so everything everything got getting cleared every day. I cleared Bank of Baroda also, Bank of Baroda PO, PGDM program. Then I cleared Maharashtra Bank Clerk and PO both. I got selected in both. And then I cleared IBPS Clerk, IBPS PO, SBI PO, even SBI Clerk also. But I think it was later on. I don't remember actually. I cleared GIC at that time also, and luckily the best option at that time, whatever sources on which I found out was GIC, and I just jump into it.
So you joined GIC. So,
Yeah.
Saurabh, if I, look into how you have, taken up your preparation, like you said, कि शुरू में कुछ भी क्लियर नहीं हो रहा था, and बाद
Yeah.
में सब एक के बाद क्लियर होता गया, then you had actually a choice कि किस में जाओ आप, right?
Yeah.
So, when कुछ भी क्लियर नहीं हो रहा था, one, how did you continue that, and when once things started getting cleared, तब आपका क्या माइंड स्टेट था कि आपने आरबीआई जब दिया होगा उस साल जब सब कुछ क्लियर हो रहा था, तो आपकी स्ट्रैटेजी में कुछ डिफरेंस था, एंड कैसे वो हेल्पफुल हुई?
Okay. See, I'll say I was, enjoying the journey. When I was not able to clear it, I used to, write down how many I have attempted. Then I used to see when the marks used to come, I used to imagine where I was lacking. So it was entirely, I was playing with it, I would say. It never clicked me that if I couldn't clear it, and think X will happen, Y will. It was not never in my mind. I was just, trying to, just enjoying my study days. After 2 months, I have this exam. I have to improve this, and the improve. I started seeing the improvement also when I started,
Great.
practicing more reasoning, practicing more. Started studying more GA. GA was one of the weakest point at that time. I still remember. So, and when I started seeing improvement, it all was such a good and lovely journey. Then it never occurred to me that I have spent almost 3 years in this entire process. Means almost I've given a substantial time in the preparation, and then once the improvement started showing up in the marks, then I started coming into the list. I started clearing prelims, I started clearing mains, and eventually in some list I came to the final list also. And I still regarding RBI at that time. See, I was in a good zone and things were working out. So RBI grade, and during that time only also I cleared RBI grade B prelims as well.
Okay.
But the mains was entirely a different case altogether. Whatever I was studying, the mains needed a different strategy. So
Right.
once I cleared the prelims, I realized I can do this also. So during those within that 10, 14 days, prepared for the mains, but that was not sufficient. But that gave me a belief that,
Right.
dude, you can do it. So then I just kept trying it. That was the second best thing I could do till now. The best thing actually I can do. And I kept trying it, and by the God's grace, they say it happened.
Great, great, Saurav. So I think if I talk about or try to understand and summarize your phase one strategy, जिसमें
Yeah.
quant, reasoning, English, and then GA रहता है. So so many exams that you gave, the banking exams, I think they helped you in clearing RBI Grade B का भी prelims, because you had been consistently improving in your performance in reasoning, quant. इफ आई स्पेसिफिकली आस्क, आरबीआई में क्वांट एंड रीजनिंग थोड़ा सा डिफिकल्ट होता जा रहा है ईयर बाय ईयर काफी
Yes,
स्टूडेंट्स
yes.
के लिए. एंड जो आपने बैंकिंग एग्जाम्स दिए थे, उसका उसकी प्रैक्टिस आपको कितनी हेल्पफुल हुई थी, एंड वाज देयर अ लिटिल डिफरेंस इन हाउ यू अप्रोच्ड ग्रेड बी का फेज वन?
No, I think the strategy was the same. The whatever I had used to practice, like I used to give mock test, and that helps a lot. That keeps you at par level. But and it was the same. I don't say I changed in the prelims. For the mains, I had have to apply different strategy, and that is something which helped in the mains. For prelims, it was the same actually.
ओके. सो फेज टू की हम थोड़ी सी और देर में भी बात करते हैं. फर्स्ट आई ऑल्सो टॉक अबाउट जीए, क्योंकि जैसे आपने बोला कि इनिशियली दैट टाइम व्हेन यू स्टार्टेड प्रिपेयरिंग जीए वाज अ लिटिल डिफिकल्ट फॉर यू, एंड जो अभी भी स्टूडेंट्स प्रिपेयर करते हैं चाहे बैंकिंग एग्जाम्स के लिए या डायरेक्टली आरबीआई के लिए, जीए एक एरिया होता है विच दे आर अ लिटिल हेजिटेंट अबाउट, स्केर्ड अबाउट, और बिकॉज उसका सबसे ज्यादा वेटेज है तो थोड़ा सा वो प्रेशर भी फील होता है कि नहीं जीए में अच्छा करना है. तो
Yes.
व्हाट विल यू सजेस्ट ऑफ ऑल योर इयर्स लर्निंग ऑफ प्रेपरेशन, जीए को कैसे इम्प्रूव किया जा सकता है, या जीए आपने कैसे अपनी इम्प्रूव करी?
Okay. Firstly, I used to study GA. Means I use the same sources this year as well. I think revising the content again and again, that is very helpful. Still, the GA is tough, typical. The IBPS is asking more tough questions, but it is not like that they are asking something out of the blue. It is
हम्म.
you just have to revise the sources again and again. You have to be pretty clear with the numbers, and when you give certain exams of IPS, you pretty much get an understanding what IBPS is actually looking for in every day. Then I used to study daily. I would say current affairs.
Okay.
So that also helps a lot to build your base doing the current affairs. When you see those question exams, you can make a correlation in something in which you.
Mm-hmm.
So revising was just key, I guess here. 2 or 3 times revision really plays a great role in you improving your marks in G.
And how many months did you revise? Because एक तो डेली बेसिस पे एज यू सेड कि डेली
Yes, yes, yes.
टच में रहना एक्चुअली काफी हेल्पफुल होता है 2-3 रीजन से। वन, डेली में जब आप रहते हैं कंसिस्टेंटली तो एक तो वो कंसिस्टेंसी बिल्ड हो जाती है। सेकंड है आप फेज 2 या इंटरव्यू के लिए भी थोड़ा सा रिकॉल कर पाते हो कि क्या चल रहा था इकोनॉमी में, बैंकिंग में। थर्ड, रिवीजन में हेल्प होती है। बट एग्जाम से जस्ट पहले अगर आपको रिवीजन करना है तो कितने मंथ्स का रिवीजन
6 months
यूजुअली?
revision is the ideal thing. If in case you cannot do it, at least do last 3 months and
ओके।
try to read the latest one first. Like suppose the exam is in May, try to read the May articles, April articles first. If you have time, go for
देन गो
the
बैक।
March. Do like that. That's what I followed actually. Because the ideal thing is 6 months, but we all know how things get unfolded. How when you plan for 100, you can get done only 60%. That is the factual actually. It happened with me also. I had a plan to prepare, revise for 6 months, but I don't know what happened, or I was trying my best, but still I couldn't complete those 6 months revision. So I followed this strategy. The latest one I revised first, and then going backwards.
ओके। लेट्स कम टू फेज 2 नाउ। जो आपने भी बोला कि डिफरेंट था, राइट? इसमें
Yes.
आपको ईएसआई पढ़ना था, फाइनेंस पढ़ना था, मैनेजमेंट पढ़ना था, एंड इंग्लिश, डिस्क्रिप्टिव इंग्लिश की भी प्रैक्टिस करनी थी। एंड इवन इन ईएसआई एंड फाइनेंस एंड मैनेजमेंट डिस्क्रिप्टिव भी करना था एंड ऑब्जेक्टिव भी करना था। तो एंड इन ईएसआई एज आई अंडरस्टैंड, स्टूडेंट्स को शायद पता है जितने जो प्रिपेयर कर रहे हैं कि गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स का अच्छा रोल होता है इसमें। तो कैसे आपने पहले ईएसआई एंड गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स को अप्रोच किया एंड कैसे आपने अपना डिस्क्रिप्टिव प्रैक्टिस किया?
Okay, see, the sources were the same. You get a lot of on the internet. There are a lot of government schemes. PDFs are there. The schemes are the same actually. I wouldn't say there was much difference. I used to prepare the schemes before that. The same thing, a little bit addition or changes during this year. What changes the government made. So used to note that down and revise that. Something which this year I find different. Yeah, I hope everybody just was amazed that this year the questions were application oriented. The scheme was not direct. It was more like some Rohan is there or Sohan is there, and he is part of this, and tell me what will be the premium, or tell me what is. So question was more of application oriented. So again, the completely just mugging up the government scheme was not helpful. You have to use a little bit of common sense elimination also during the exam time. So just the presence of mind at that during that time, and making a little bit educational guess. So that helped, and practice of the mocks. This year, I would say the different than compared to my all previous attempts was I practiced mocked this time a lot. So I made sure whether I was able to study my whole content or not, but I made sure that I at least I practiced mocks on every alternate day, even during the between the prelims and the mains, and that did brought a lot change. In the descriptive also in the descriptive question, I was able to answer within the time frame, and the reason behind that was the practice.
Okay, okay. And so actually that's very important, sort of, that you brought in, because many times students or aspirants, what they do is they push the mocks towards the end. That let me study first, and then I will give mocks towards the end, and then I will know my preparation. Which may be fine, it may work for a lot of people, but what is also important is while giving mocks, one, your speed, being within the time, your word limits and all that also you get better at it the more and more you
Actually,
practice. And second, I think the feedback. So did feedback also play a role for you
yeah,
after giving the mocks?
of course, it did. The way I was writing my answers in the first mock and the way I wrote my answers in the fourth or fifth, mock was very different because whatever the feedback I received and whatever improvements they have suggested, I incorporated those in my answers, and the answers improved to a great extent actually. So that feedback was very helpful actually.
Great, actually, because that's the idea when we are checking, at our exam, when we are checking the answers. We do that individually for every student and give a detailed feedback, word limit related, grammar related, content related, presentation of the content, how it can be there. So yes, I think that's why another important point is giving mocks, because आपको descriptive का जब वो feedback मिलता है तो आपका वो style and within the time छोटे छोटे न्यूआंसेस जो हम खुद नहीं देख पाते हैं वो शायद दिखने लगते हैं, and then we start improving on that. So that was one different thing that you did this year, and
Yes,
great it helped, Saurabh. um, so ESI, like you told कि आपने काफी सारी गवर्नमेंट स्कीम्स को पढ़ा एंड उनको बहुत बार रिवाइज किया, तो that helped. What
yes.
about finance and management, and did you find it difficult, the finance and the management subject?
No, ma'am, it was not very difficult. I would say it was the same every year. The way it was coming, it was the same only. Again, a few of the questions, few basic questions which I missed actually. I would like to mention it was a mistake from my end. There was a Jeevan Suraksha Bima Yojana, Jeevan Jyoti Bima Yojana. There was premium they asked, and after studying a lot of content, I forgot to study these basics. So which I would like to tell all the fellow aspirants that please study those also. RBI asked those basic questions. I have almost missed 4 to 6 marks on this, which I could have
Right.
easily gained.
Easily got, yes.
Yeah, I don't know what clicked me. I didn't study these schemes. I studied a lot of content, but these basic things which I missed and I lost. When I saw the question in the exam hall, I was so much, into a dilemma. What have I missed? Straight away 6 marks. There was almost a paragraph this question on these two schemes, and which straight away I was losing marks on that. But I think I am lucky that I do cleared mains and all. But these 6 months do hit me a lot of times. Since you have to study clear basic schemes, which are these. Then after that, you can move on to the more advanced content. But this is what we should do actually. So because these are very straight marks, and then there are some complex questions in which you all study a lot of content, and then we all give it a hit and try. It may work, it may not work, because there are certain questions always 10
Yes.
20% questions will be there that you don't know from where they came actually. So
Yeah.
still you have to to get into the list, you have to give a try.
दैट्स अ गुड पॉइंट सौरभ, आपने जो ये बोला ना, क्योंकि ये गलती हम लोग कई स्टूडेंट्स कर देते हैं कि जो डिफिकल्ट है, जो कॉम्प्लेक्स है, या जिसके प्रोबेबिलिटी आने के, देखो प्रोबेबिलिटी तो हर चीज़ के आने की 1% तो हमेशा ही रहेगी, या 0.1% हमेशा रहेगी, जीरो तो किसी चीज़ की भी रेयरली होती है। बट वो
Yeah.
जो लेस प्रोबेबिलिटी वाले या जो कॉम्प्लेक्स वाले हैं, हम कभी कभी इतने फोकस्ड हो जाते हैं उसके लिए कि जो बाकी के 80% हम कर सकते थे, रिवाइज कर करके याद रख सकते थे, हम भूल जाते हैं। एंड फिर उसमें जब हम लूज करते हैं, वो ज्यादा हर्टफुल होता है रादर देन वो जो 20% जिसको हमने इतना करने की कोशिश करी, जिसके लिए पढ़ने की कोशिश करी, कभी कभी वो एंड अप भी नहीं होता आना। तो बेसिक्स लेकिन मेजोरिटी हमेशा रहेगा। तो इट्स वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, ये आपने बहुत अच्छा पॉइंट हाईलाइट किया सौरभ, कि बहुत ज़रूरी है कि हम पहले जो कॉन्सेप्चुअल बेसिक्स इजी डायरेक्ट वाली चीज़ें उनको मिस आउट तो ना करें रिवाइज करना। ऑफ कोर्स देन वी कैन कीप बिल्डिंग ऑन न्यू एंड न्यू एंड न्यू थिंग्स, एंड कुछ 10% 15% हमेशा रहेगा एग्जाम में, जो थोड़ा सा विल बी अ सरप्राइज एलिमेंट विल।
Ma'am, this time in the descriptive, there are a few questions that you don't know what are from where they came actually, and then but still you have to write those questions. You have to write those answers. So that
राइट।
is one something I prepared myself also for that, and I would say for other aspirants also. You should be prepared that there will be questions that you don't know, but you have to within that time limit, you have to write those descriptive questions and move on. Don't get panicked. Don't get stressed out. Just give your best.
राइट राइट सौरभ, दैट्स इम्पोर्टेंट, दैट्स, एंड इसमें वो प्रैक्टिस करता है, प्रैक्टिस हेल्प करती है, सॉरी। एंड कुछ डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस भी होते हैं, जैसे वो मैनेजमेंट के 14 प्रिंसिपल्स की तरह
Yes,
भी आ
ma'am.
जाते हैं। और जो भी आउट ऑफ द ब्लू, मतलब आते आते एक खुशी भी लगती है कि यस ये तो हम कर लेंगे एंड अच्छा स्कोर कर
कॉन्फिडेंस मिल
लेंगे,
जाता है मैम।
कॉन्फिडेंस भी
मैम
बिल्ड
देयर वाज
होता
वन मोर क्वेश्चन, बिग फाइव पर्सनालिटी आल्सो।
है। यस, ये भी
वो
काफी।
भी डायरेक्ट क्वेश्चन आ गया था। मतलब मैंने कुछ एक आध मॉक्स दिए थे, उसमें से डायरेक्ट आ गया था, एंड आई वाज वेरी लकी ऑन दैट, आई वुड से। सो उससे थोड़ा सा कॉन्फिडेंस बिल्ड होता है।
राइट राइट, नहीं एब्सोल्युटली। एंड एक्चुअली मॉक्स देने का ये भी फायदा रहता है सौरभ, कि कुछ क्वेश्चंस जो आपके प्रैक्टिस किए हुए होते हैं, जिसपे आपको फीडबैक मिला हुआ होता है, आपने लिखा हुआ होता है, तो आप एक अलग लेवल ऑफ कॉन्फिडेंस से करते हैं। एज यू सेड कि कुछ ऐसे होते हैं जो डायरेक्ट नहीं होते हैं, आपको नहीं पता होगा, बट जो ये मॉक्स के थ्रू आपने इतने सारे प्रैक्टिस कर लिए होते हैं ना, तो अगर एक भी अच्छा होता है तो वो आपका मूड, आपका कॉन्फिडेंस लेवल मेंटेन रखता है कि आप जो इतना अच्छे से नहीं भी आता है या जो थोड़ा सा आपको फिर भी करना पड़ेगा, उसके लिए वो कॉन्फिडेंस आपको खींच के ले जाता है एंड यू आर एबल टू परफॉर्म वेल ओवरऑल. So
Correct, ma'am, correct.
that's important. Let's move to the last stage, the phase 3, the interview stage. I'm sure जब आपने इंटरव्यू लिस्ट में अपना नाम देखा होगा तो पहली बार तो बहुत ही खुशी होगी कि भाई इस बार मेंस कर लिया मैंने, लास्ट अटेम्प्ट है और इस बार करना है. तो एक वो प्रेशर भी फील हुआ होगा कि लास्ट अटेम्प्ट है और पहली बार इंटरव्यू में भी जा रहे हैं, बट समवेयर आई एम श्योर कि एक वो कॉन्फिडेंस भी होगा कि यहाँ तक आ गया हूँ तो मैं आगे कर ही लूंगा. तो क्या स्ट्रैटेजी रही, आपने क्या प्रिपरेशन करी, कैसे आपने अपने इंटरव्यू स्टेज की तैयारी करी थी?
मैम, फर्स्ट थिंग आई वुड लाइक टू मेंशन मैम कि जब इंटरव्यू लिस्ट में वो नाम रोल नंबर आता है मैम, पहली बार तो बिलीव नहीं हो रहा था कि मेरा ही रोल नंबर है. सो आई हैव क्रॉस चेक ट्वाइस थ्राइस कि हाँ मेरा ही रोल नंबर है, आई एम गिविंग द इंटरव्यू. सो पहले तो एक दिन तो वो सलकिन हुआ कि हाँ दिस इज हैपनिंग एंड दिस इज ट्रूली हैपनिंग, यू आर गेटिंग अ चांस टू सिट इन फ्रंट ऑफ दैट बोर्ड. यू नो, आई थिंक फॉर मी दैट वाज अ बिग थिंग. I
हम्म.
don't know. Because at that time, even one third people will get selected. They call three times for the interview. So I always have that in my mind. See, if it happens, it happens. It doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. At least you got a chance to, be present in front of that board and express your views. That itself is an achievement, and that's gonna stay for a long time with you. So with that thought process, I went ahead, started preparing for my interviews. Whatever content I could gather from the internet that people you have already, shared the transcript, what questions they ask, what board usually looks for, and I paid a good concentration while filling the biodata, and being very clear and concise, not being very confusing, and then getting it reviewed by the other mentors as well. I have given a lot of mock interviews also, so that also helped a lot. That shaped me, and that whatever few basic mistakes which I was doing, I improved in that. I got a good feedback that I can improve my, the speech, the rate of speech with which I was speaking. I should be, being very a little bit slow and little bit clear, and then what type of questions that can be asked from my background, whatever being engineering background, then being with TCS, then being with GIC. So what kind of questions can be asked? So those mock interviews helped me a lot, and I was pretty much prepared then for to face the final day. And then the day came, it all went very smoothly, very nicely, and it was all good, I would say. Again, the God has been kind, I would say.
Sure. Okay. So, sort of, like you said, you gave mocks and, that was helpful and improved. So, how was this mock and the actual interview experience?
Okay, in this case, I'll be very thankful to iExam B. Actually, the team conducted an offline interview for me at Mumbai, and Mr. Sri Lagare sir was present there, and it was very nice, very cordial, and very helpful actually. The way the sir has analyzed my biodata and the questions which he asked, I find couple of questions were actually asked in the interview also with me, and that was very helpful. I could frame it well and I could answer it well. The board looked quite satisfied with those answers, so that was very helpful from the team. And there was a certain videos also uploaded by the team iExam B, and I went through those videos, and like the basic way, what are the basic things to be taken care while giving interview, what are the most probable questions asked, then based on your background and all. So I went through those videos also, so that was also very helpful. So I'd be very grateful to the iExam B team. They are doing a wonderful job. They have. I took a crash course also at the last moment while doing the mock test, which I took. So that time also there were certain topics which I couldn't cover from other sources. So I straight away went to the course, and they were very direct and concise. The topic of inflation, I still remember. Then the Big Five personality, there was a very good paragraph, in a very concise manner, in a very less time, I was able to cover it and reproduce it in the exam as well. The manner in which it was, written, it was very easy to remember actually. So it was very helpful at that time also. So I'm very grateful to the team actually. This success, a lot of exam B team has also contributed a lot in this.
Thank you, Saurabh, for stating that. And yes, we try to keep the content crisp and to the point and exam relevant. That's the endeavor, because there's so much information available, and the time is less. So that's our focus. That we can prepare 50% faster by focusing on the crisp content and exam relevant content. And absolutely right, Sushil Ragde sir has been doing this for 10 plus years. He's one of the known names in RBI Grade B preparation. He gave up his job for the passion that he had for teaching and helping students reach this prestigious organization. So
Absolutely, ma'am.
yes. So sort of like we were also talking about your actual experience. As you said, a lot of it was based on your profile, your experience at GIC, at TCS. So would you say having experience helped or not helped you in the actual interview?
No, it helped actually. It helped a lot. You can, predict the questions which can be asked based on the experience.
Great. So was there a lot of insurance being asked, or it was banking focused?
No, not very much into insurance. It was more like what work you are doing, what are you handling, and more like some question was there on a fintech as well. There was
Mm-hmm.
a initiative done by RBI in the fintech sector, so and it was very much related to my profile, and it was asked by Sushil Lagare sir also. I am very thankful to him actually. I would say. Uh, he helped me a lot in this. And then there were questions regarding regulations, few basic regulations. So that was some basics. So overall, it's a mix up, but mainly fintech. Then what work I was doing, and little depth in that. They were trying to, and as far as I remember, I'm able to recollect only that much, but nothing. So a few questions were on the engineering also, like
Engineering.
related to computer science actually.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Were there questions on HR type questions also asked to you?
Yeah, yeah. This was the first question being asked that you have spent almost 6.5 years in GIC.
Mm-hmm.
Then why are you willing to come to RBI and you are already scaled to here? So that was the question, and that question was asked into the mock interview also to me. And sir has guided me how to frame it, how to put it forward. And since I have been giving this exam from a long time, so it shows my the persistence and my willingness to join RBI, and that's it. I think they were convinced.
Great, great. So that's amazing, Saurabh. The marks are out. I'm sure you've got great marks in the interview, and your phase two also. Phase one, you had always been confident about, and this time you've made it by clearing your phase two also and your interview also. So many, many congratulations, Saurabh, once again. Before I end, I would also touch upon one more important thing, because you have been giving this exam from so many years. You told what worked for you. Could you also highlight things that you would tell the fellow aspirants and future aspirants to not make the mistakes, so that they can clear it a little more easily than any other person?
Okay, ma'am. I would mention that, ma'am, please, the fellow aspirant should understand it's a journey. Take it as a journey. Overall, it's a job. At the end of the day, a job is a job. Don't take it as, I know it's RBI, it's a big name and everything, but overall, at the end of the day, it's a job. Just you are trying for a job. You study, dedicate yourself 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever is your capacity. Everybody knows him about this. I knew that I can study daily for 3 hours because I was working and I know my situation. So everybody is in a different situation. Know your situation, understand it, dedicate whatever you find you can dedicate it, and try to analyze as well. A lot of aspirants do, they give exam, then they forget, and then after a couple of months the results come, then they see their marks, and then they just wash out. That doesn't help. You have to be, take care of what where are you lagging. Try to improve that place, and improvement is the key actually here altogether. The improvement may take couple of months, may take 4 months, may take 5 months, but where you are lagging. Few people have English is their good forte, maybe lacking in quant. Somebody is lagging in reasoning. So you don't know what where you are. So you should analyze it first, improve it, and keep going on, and then just enjoy the journey. You see a 1 mark improvement, a 5 marks improvement, and 10 marks improvement, then you feel a lot of good energy coming to you. And then one day something happens, and you find your name in the final list. And it's better, try to be, in that improvement. Try to bring that improvement as early as possible, so you can reduce the timeline.
That's a wonderful way of approaching. I will say, sort of that it's a journey, and slowly and steadily, some may run through it, some may walk through it, some may jog through it, but you have to understand which one is your capacity, and that's what we have to focus on. This is the goal. This is where we have to reach, and everyday improvement. If I bring in the management concept, Kaizen,
Yeah.
keep following that continuous improvement day after day after day, and I'm sure you will reach your dreams in some manner or the other. As it's very, very important to have those consistent steps. And one of my colleagues at iExamBeak is saying this: today is better than yesterday. So let's focus on making each day better than yesterday, and I'm sure we will consistently, slowly and steadily reach there. uh, Thanks again, Saurabh, for so candidly sharing your experience, your journey, your entire strategy, and your entire positive approach, which brings in so much more positivity, I'm sure, in the hearts of people who are watching this and taking inspiration from your story to crack it for themselves next year. At iExamP, of course, we will continue to guide you, help you. Our new batches are also started. So Shilrak Desar is leading them to help you prepare for the 24 cycle of 2000 of RBI Grade B. Thanks again, Saurabh. It was a pleasure talking to you, and congratulations once again from the entire team of iExamP.
Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for providing me the opportunity to, to give this to providing this platform to express my strategy and how to go about it. One thing more, ma'am, I would like to mention. I have a YouTube channel named Try Saurabh One, and or you can search it on YouTube as Saurabh Trivedi GIC. You will find a lot of fellow aspirants can find a lot of useful videos that can be, helpful in this preparation, ma'am.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Saurabh, for
Thank you,
sharing
ma'am.
all this. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.